and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling Renaissance. My name is TJ Leo.
And my name is Cole Two Belts, or 2K.
Where's your other belt? Is it hiding? Oh, I had to ask. Look at that.
Got him.
Look at that gold. Look at that gold.
Shiny.
Yes. This is the WWE Backlash Predictions episode of Wrestling Renaissance. I still can't believe I don't have either of those belts. It's just such an ass. For those of you who have never joined us before on Wrestling Renaissance, before every WWE PLE and AEW pay-per-view for now, we talk about the build-up to the shows and make our official predictions, and on subsequent shows, we break down the results and see how we fared in our predictions, and rate each match on the Co-op Entertainment scale, review scale of 1 to 10. And today, it's all about predictions. Today, it's all about WWE Backlash, which is happening in St. Louis, Missouri, on Saturday, May 10th. Not an international pay-per-view, or a PLE, I should say. I don't know what to think about that. Are they pulling...
they've kind of. I think this year they've cut down on the international PLEs. I think the only one that we know of right now is Crown Jewel, the one that's in Perth, Australia.
Perth, yeah, that's right.
I don't even think they've announced,
there's Clash in Paris.
Clash? Okay, yeah, that's right.
Clash in Paris. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's pretty quiet. Although they seem to be keeping their pay-per-view or their PLE announcements close to the chest. They're taking a lot longer to announce them than they used to. You used to be able to look up a calendar a year in advance, and they're just like all lined up. And now they're taking like 3 months in advance, and you still don't know what's happening.
Shoot, even 2 months. It seems like Backlash was only announced for St. Louis like 3 weeks, a month before.
I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, it seems like St. Louis was the plan because of the main event, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was somewhere else, and they had to pivot into St. Louis, and we're like, hey, let's get Orton in there.
Yeah,
who knows? It's tough to say. But yeah, let's kick things off with the Backlash matches. The first match is the Intercontinental Championship. We've got Penta against the current reigning Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio. So they've only had 3 weeks of build-up. So there's not a whole lot going on here. I think the main story really doesn't have a whole lot to do with Penta. Has seemingly more to do with the current state of Judgment Day.
Right.
And where that's at. I thought we were going to get a little bit more... Dante wants to come say hi. Come here. Okay, or don't. Run away. I thought we were going to get a little bit more progression in that storyline by now, but Finn's still just kind of teasing turning on Dom and not actually turning on Dom.
I mean, I think they kind of had to change up what they were doing just because Dom started getting babyface reactions. I think that's why they kind of had to detour, or, I don't like using the word pivot, but I think that's kind of why they had to maybe change things up because, Dom was getting the babyface, and I think they were initially trying to turn Finn babyface.
Yeah, that backfired horribly.
Yeah, but I think it's almost, you got to have Finn stay heel and completely turn Dom babyface.
Yeah, I think it's the best choice. But the question is, if you do keep Dom as a babyface, is Judgment Day also a babyface? Or is he going to be, removed?
Because, that would mean Liv, when she gets back, would have to be babyface. Raquel babyface.
Yeah, just doesn't make much sense, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have my whiteboard. I will be right back.
Looks like I'm holding things down. I got to find my whiteboard too. Oh, it's right here. Which color should I go with, Sam?
I can't believe I forgot. Because normally we do our predictions before we even talk. That was the plan.
Oh,
So
that's
we already screwed up.
I blame the person in charge.
It's true. It's definitely my fault. So let's go back to doing that. Let's stop talking, and let's give our predictions here. So you put your prediction in the point.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't say what my reasoning was.
Right. That's what clicked in my brain. I was like, wait, this isn't what we're supposed to. What's happening? Okay, I'm good. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, we differ right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. So here's my thing. Here's why I think Penta's going to win, and I'm not super confident in it because I think it could go either way. But I think Penta's going to win because. Ooh, I'm talking myself out of it now that I'm talking.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late. I'm locked in. I just think that Dom isn't. I mean, Dom's not a legitimate champion. Can we just say that?
No, we can't say that.
We can say that he's not a legitimate. Anybody he goes against in a one-on-one match, you're like, I'm sorry, it's Dominic Mysterio. He's not at that level yet. From an in-ring standpoint and from a size standpoint, he's still tiny.
Heel, he is. As a heel, he is.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes on the full route of lie, cheat, and steal, I think he could. But he hasn't really done that. He's really done that for other people.
He did with the North American title when he had that.
Yeah, that was the problem. It wasn't on main TV, so it's I don't associate that with him. And if they're turning him good, I don't know. I just think that this might be where they finally have Finn maybe cost Dom the Intercontinental title, and Penta picks it up, and then they finally start the implosion of Judgment Day. I think it's inevitable, and maybe it's time to do it. Maybe it's time to pull that cord. It's kind of what I'm thinking.
So I'm thinking he just won it 3 weeks ago at Mania.
Yeah.
And it's too early. But
I don't see him having a long reign, though.
But if they do it as a way to get Penta the title, they would have just had Penta win at Mania because he was in that match. I mean, Penta could have pinned Finn.
Maybe. I think they wanted to give Dirty Dom a moment, though.
That's true.
Like he's kind of like the Santino of this generation, where he does all this good stuff and all this entertaining, and R-Truth, Zack Ryder, like all these guys that were,
I mean,
they're never going to be
Zack Ryder.
But I mean, like, they're all like under the radar guys, people that are never going to win the big one. But they work hard, they entertain, so let's give them something. And I feel like that was the purpose of giving Dom the title, and also to create some friction with Finn. And I just don't think that needs to last very long, in order to accomplish that. So
could be. I mean, what you said makes sense.
Yeah. The question is it too early? That's the question. So. And I'm somewhat convinced that you're correct. There's also the inevitability that Penta is going to reunite with Rey Fenix, tag team, and is he going to reunite with Phoenix while also holding the Intercontinental title? Probably not.
For a long time, not until they start doing the tag team division better.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm obviously sticking with my lock. Have to do that, but
have to.
Yeah. But I only did 1 point. Why do you think Dom's going to win?
Too early to take it off of him.
Just too early. That's the spiel.
Yep. I think there's still some story you can tell. Have Finn chase him for the title.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer to see that, honestly.
Yeah,
I'd prefer to. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't just immediately pull the trigger on that. You know,
right. I
kind of
guess
like
they
when Orton
got
did it.
have to kind of figure out how to do it with Finn having to stay heel and Dom making a, finishing his baby turn face. I guess I don't know.
It's tough, right? Because you have the whole Judgment Day, and if Finn's the bad guy, you would think that Judgment Day is going to back Finn. And if the entire Judgment Day is going to back Finn against Dominic Mysterio, Dom has a 0% chance of keeping the title. So it would be a very one-sided affair.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost like they've written themselves into a corner here of how do we do it?
I mean, it'd be Dom and Carlito and against Finn and JD, pretty much.
I like JD though.
I like JD too, but he's Team Finn.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to say before we move on?
Not really. I mean, it'll be a decent match. I mean, it'll of the 5 matches, number 4 for me, but what I'm most interested in.
I'd say 5 for me. Yeah, 4. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah,
We probably got the same one
yeah probably.
for 5, I think.
And it's not this one.
Oh,
So
then we don't have the same because this
Oh
is 5
wow.
for me.
Oh
I don't.
wow. Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of
The Fatal Four Way.
4-way matches. Yeah.
I mean, you know my thoughts. I love the multi-man matches. I think they're fast action and good stuff. But let's lock in our vote, which I'm sure will be the same.
I don't think it will be.
No? I see some sarcasm in there. Three, two, one. Oh, wow. Okay.
I told you.
All right then. Um, I'm kind of curious to hear why you picked Drew. So I'm
I
gonna
mean,
let you lead on this one.
to me, there's just not been any build to this. I know the easy money is Jacob, of course. I mean, he won it in a 4-way, right? Was it a
Mm-hmm.
4-way?
Yeah.
Um,
Uh. Uh.
no, it was just him
No.
against
Him and
LA
LA
Knight.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I, I mean, I know Drew won at Mania against Priest. I think Drew needs to have a title reign. I think a U.S. title is good for him. Jacob doesn't need a title.
No, he doesn't. You're
I
right.
think maybe we could either see Solo turn on Jacob in this
Yeah.
or accidentally cost him the title. Because when he came out after Mania, and Solo started cutting the promo about how he was the reason Jacob was a champion and all that, Jacob seemed to kind of get a little bit offended by it. So I think this could be a way to um, have that turn be complete. I guess, I mean, essentially that would just blow up the entire bloodline for good, seemingly.
Yeah. The Bloodline is in such a weird place.
It is because,
It's
Thomas hurt, Tonga's hurt. It's just Solo and Jacob.
Solo and
There's not
Jacob,
really
and
a
Roman's
bloodline.
doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's actually Roman's doing nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a weird time for the Bloodline. It's a weird time for all 4 of these guys, in all honesty. You know, if you were to ask me, after Drew beats Damian at WrestleMania, what do you think he's going to be doing next? It wouldn't be Drew's going to be in a fatal 4-way with Damian in it. Like, why is Damian even in this match? You lost at WrestleMania.
And
Why are
then
you in this match?
Jacob, what's going to happen with Jacob and LA Knight after Mania? Do you see LA Knight
Right.
being back in the U.S. title picture again.
Yeah, my hope. Here's my hope. So I think Jacob's going to keep the title. I just don't see. So I went with Penta to win the Intercontinental Championship. I just don't think that they're going to have both mid card titles change that fast. So my theory was that Jacob's going to keep it, Dom's going to lose it, and I think they haven't announced it yet, which is kind of weird to me. But if I had to guess, I would say the draft is coming up very shortly. So I can see LA Knight going to Raw, doing some completely new feuds there. He needs a new roster to go up against.
Yeah.
How did Drew get on SmackDown, by the way? How'd that happen? Pretty sure he's a Raw guy. I don't think he got traded at any point. So why is he here?
Just because after the Rumble, it was him going after Priest.
So Priest got traded in the window thing, and Drew just followed him, I guess.
Yep.
So weird.
Let me see WWE's website. It probably still has. Drew is a Raw guy.
Is a Raw guy. I thought he was a Raw guy. He probably still has Damien as a Raw guy.
I mean, their backgrounds aren't red and blue anymore.
Oh.
No, Drew is a SmackDown guy.
So he officially moved. Okay.
With Priest.
Weird. I would never have moved both of them. I would have moved one of them. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this is the problem with the roster right now, is that it's so bloated. There's so many guys and so much talent and only so much TV time. And when you're only doing PLEs with 5 matches, it limits you even more. It's like, what do you do with these guys? We haven't talked about it yet, but there's several matches that could have been on this card. They're just not on this card, and they're saving them for Saturday night's main event, I'm assuming. It's just weird.
2 weeks after this.
Yeah, I think so.
And then another 2 weeks after that, or 3 weeks after that, there's
another PLE.
Another PLE.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, it'll be hard hitting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just hope something comes of it besides just a win. There's got to be some story progression somewhere.
I hope it's an end to 2 stories, to LA Knight and Jacob, and to Drew and Damien.
Yeah, me too. 100%. All right, let's move forward to Gunther versus Pat McAfee. All right. I went back and forth on this one. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we match. We match. So the only reason I was going back and forth on this one, I was like, why would they make such an obvious match where Gunther's going to win? And then I remembered Goldberg.
Ugh.
And I'm wondering if he's going to get involved, spear Gunther, cost him the win, and then that brings them to whenever their match is going to be.
What is the PLE schedule? Because if that match is going to happen, just get it over with.
The next one is Money in the Bank. And then theoretically Evolution, apparently, is coming back. And then SummerSlam.
Well, it certainly wouldn't happen on there.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to happen on Evolution.
Maybe
Money in the Bank doesn't make much sense either, I don't think. So I think it would be saved for SummerSlam.
Maybe it would be Saturday night's main event.
Oh, God. Let's hope so. It's definitely not a match I care to see.
Yeah, Money in the Bank, June 7th.
SummerSlam just makes the most sense. It's 2 nights. They got to fill up that card, So I can see it happening, but at the same time, I also can't see Goldberg coming back this early to set up a match for what 3 months from now, 4 months from
Yeah.
now. Seems too early to bring him back. I really wouldn't want them to stretch out a Goldberg Gunther match for that long. The build up.
No, me neither.
Unless it ends up being like a CM Punk thing where Goldberg shows up at all of Gunther's matches at the PLEs for the next 4 months and just takes him out every single time, and then Gunther finally says, "Fine, I'll fight you at
Yeah.
SummerSlam." They could do that, I suppose. And Gunther just continue at all of these PLEs. He continuously picks on, someone that everyone knows he's going to destroy. Like I can see that.
I mean, I know I can't be the only one, but I'd rather see a Gunther versus Brock Lesnar match than a Gunther versus Goldberg match.
I mean, I'd rather just not see Goldberg at all, personally.
I mean, that too.
He's just going to hurt someone, and I don't want him to hurt Gunther.
Good point.
So, yeah. So we both have Gunther. I think we both agree it's too early for a Goldberg appearance if that's what they're still going for.
And I mean,
and it's Pat McAfee.
It's Pat McAfee. Gunther does not need to struggle with him at all.
No, like Gunther should walk in and just destroy him.
He should. I mean, this isn't an Adam Cole situation where it was Adam Cole against Pat McAfee or Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee. This is freaking Gunther. It's Gunther. He should not have any trouble. He should not struggle at all against McAfee.
Yeah. The only way that Gunther will not win is if there is some sort of interference on behalf of McAfee. Like maybe Cole. but then why would you do that? Because that would just further the feud. Like Gunther's not going to let it go.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even understand there must be a point to this match that we're not thinking about, unless it is Goldberg, but it just doesn't seem like if this is just a straight match where Gunther destroys Pat McAfee, it doesn't deserve to be on this show.
No. I mean, he just needs to come in like Walter of old and just destroy him.
Yeah, I hope that's what happens. I hope we get a squash match. But I don't know. It's pretty bad when the best case scenario is a squash match at a PLE.
Yes.
I
mean, the video package they play beforehand needs to be longer than the match.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's going to be a 5-minute video package, 2 minutes of entrances, and then hopefully a 2-minute squash. Just Goldberg or Walter just needs to destroy McAfee.
They should have just, if they wanted to give this any sort of entertainment value, they should have just made it a street fight.
Yeah.
St. Louis street fight. That would have been entertaining. I can see that going pretty well, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I feel like we're missing something in this, but we'll see how it goes. All right. The Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria defense against Becky Lynch. Let's do our predictions. I gotta look up my prediction. Here we go. And I spelled it wrong. Cool. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we agree, but different points. All right. Yeah, so Becky Lynch came back, wasted Bayley's spot at Mania, and then lost her tag titles with Lyra the next night, and then turned on Lyra. It just makes sense that Becky's gonna beat her.
Yeah.
I also suspect that this is not going to be the end of the feud.
No, I think Lyra will win it back in a month, 2 months.
I can see it end up being a Bayley comes back triple threat, and Lyra walks away with the winner above the two veterans. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, do
Because
you think
Bailey's going to come
Bailey?
back, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's not injured.
No. I mean, do
She
you
may even
think
come back during this match. I don't know.
that's what I was going to ask? Do you think she's going to come back during this match?
I mean, if she does, then you would think Lyra's going to retain.
Right.
So I don't think so. But I can also
So I mean, of the 4 title matches, Lyra's the one that's held on. That's didn't just win the title because the other 3 just won at WrestleMania. So I think if any one is going to switch hands, it's going to be this one. Um, so that's the main reason I think Becky's going to win. But
I'm interested to see what kind of in-ring chemistry these two have because Lyra and Bailey have amazing in-ring chemistry.
they've wrestled before.
Oh yeah, on NXT, right?
Yes. Yep. It was a good
Did it?
match.
It was a good match. Was
Oh
it as
yeah.
good as the Bailey Lyra match?
I don't think so.
Mm.
I don't think so. It's, I guess, kind of. I mean, the match is the match, I guess, but the match is hits better. It's a better match if there's better um, reactions from the crowd, and the better reactions happened with the Bailey match instead of the Becky
Right.
match. And
Yeah. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Becky to me needs a complete like change, like a complete character change. She needs to be repackaged. She's considered a veteran at this point, so that's probably not going to happen. But she flip flops between face and heel so often now that it's just like I just don't care anymore. You know?
I think she's trying to be a heel, but people just want to cheer her.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's like the opposite of Charlotte. They try to have Charlotte come back and be a baby face, but the fans just do not want to cheer her. The fans just, in general, don't really want to boo Becky.
I I I almost want a heel face double turn here, where Lyra gets booed and wins.
See, I'm liking the promo that Lyra cut. She's getting a lot of
Yeah,
character
she's
from
she's
this.
getting good on the mic. I
She
agree.
is, and that's getting me more interested in her and seeing her matches and getting me behind her more. So I like that. I think if with Becky winning and Lyra fighting for the title with her newfound character, her newfound, I guess, charisma, you can call it. I can get behind that.
Man, I'm almost I kind of want to switch my guess, but I can't. That's
You
them
can't.
rules. That's them rules. Yeah, I'm wondering if Lyra's gonna pull this out. Like everyone expects Becky, Becky Hogan, as some people are calling her, to win, but maybe she's finally gonna start putting more people over on a constant basis rather than I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
she's done it more than others have than Charlotte.
Uh,
Not Bailey, but
I don't
Charlotte.
know. A lot of people poo poo on Charlotte for not putting people over, but I think she's lost like the last 3 or 4 WrestleManias to new people.
But have the people gotten over in spite of her or because of her?
I don't know, but they at least didn't. She at least didn't bury them. Although Tiffany Stratton might be a kind of a wishy washy one. We
Yeah.
don't really know. She's falling from grace right now. I'm just gonna say that she's falling from grace. All right, let's move on to the main event. One last time, John Cena, Randy Orton, WWE Championship.
We're assuming one last time.
We're assuming
Probably will be.
It probably will be. Yeah, I think he's gonna pretty much have a new opponent every month. spoilers for my guess. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Pretty. I think it's pretty self-explanatory that if he's going to lose, it's not going to be to a veteran. It's going to be to somebody he hasn't faced before, or Cody, one of the two.
Yep.
He's not going to lose it against any of these retirement tour matches of, hey, face Orton one last time, hey, face Punk one last time, hey, face
Sheamus. I'd like to see a
Sheamus. Yeah, he's back, by the way. That's great.
Yes, he came back on Monday.
Yeah, good to see him. There's not much to say about this. It's two of the biggest wrestlers of our generation. I shouldn't say of our generation, of the Ruthless Aggression era. Two of the biggest stars of all time, going at it for the 22nd time. I think they said
something like that. Yeah.
I just hope this match does better than Cena and Cody, because that match just, it did not go well.
It has to. It will, I think.
I hope so, man. I hope it goes longer than the Cody match, because that match felt shorter than Dishwater, and it was so slow. Just hope they pick it up in this.
I mean, you say you want it to go longer, but you don't. You want it to seem like it.
I want it to seem like it goes by fast, but be long.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to have some meaning and some back and forth, some good stuff.
Let's see. Is that match? Well, it was only 21 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought it was closer to 30.
Yeah, it felt like that.
It did.
Yeah.
But I think if this one goes the same distance, it'll feel like it fits, like it goes a good amount.
I hope so, man. Just as a disclaimer, this is being recorded before SmackDown. Unfortunately, because the PLEs are now on Saturdays, there's really no way for us to record the show after SmackDown and get it up before Backlash. So we don't have that in our back pockets. So if anything changes, we pretty much just keep our predictions the same, and just hope for the best. I don't foresee anything changing, though.
Do we have anything announced this week for what SmackDown is? Because normally they have a
Cena's going to be there.
Essentially like a pre-show match.
Yeah. So Cena's going to be there. LA Knight and Damian Priest are taking on Jacob and Solo. Which is an interesting point that you made about Solo potentially interfering and costing him the match. We'll see if any seeds are planted in that match. And Jade Cargill is facing Nia Jax for the #1 contendership.
So I guess, going into it, you would think that would be the main event.
Jade Cargill and Nia.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's so weird. You got a 3-hour SmackDown, but all you have previewed for it is
2 matches.
2 matches and a John Cena.
And a John Cena promo.
That's it.
Yeah. WWE television right now is pretty weak. I don't know what's going on, man.
3 hours wouldn't be too long if they made it good.
Well, 2 hours is coming back soon. So maybe that'll be a good thing.
Maybe
that'll be a good thing.
For a while, for the 4, 5, 6 months, a 3-hour Raw was good because they kept it intriguing the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that just aren't on the show. Io Sky, the World Heavyweight Championship, is not being defended. It's her and Rhea versus Roxanne and Giulia next week. On Raw. AJ's battling Finn Balor next week, which seems random.
That'll be a good match, though.
Should be, yeah.
It's almost like they're doing a mini AJ Styles retirement tour.
Yeah, he's kind of facing a lot of different people right now.
Yeah.
And then
I guess maybe a lot of dream matches, too, because that's kind of a, Bullet Club, that's like a Bullet Club dream match.
Yeah.
AJ and
they're wasting it on Raw.
Yeah.
Good job, WWE. War Raiders are battling the Creeds on Raw, so you know the War Raiders will win that because American Made is just enhancement talent.
Yep.
as it were. And then Jey Uso and Logan Paul are scheduled to have a championship match, I guess, but they're not going to do that at Backlash for some reason. They're going to wait until Saturday night's main event, I assume.
Did you see the after Raw footage of Logan Paul attacking Jay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. CM Punk made his return on Raw to clash with Rollins and Braun Breaker and help Sami Zayn. So they could have done a tag match of Seth and Braun versus Punk and Sammy, but they didn't do that. So I'm assuming that'll be on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
What else are they doing? Rusev's just kind of destroying people.
Yeah, he destroyed Otis.
Yeah. Sheamus came back and destroyed Austin Theory. They're still teasing Austin Theory and Grayson Waller breaking up.
A year later.
That is the weirdest storyline, if you can even call it that anymore. Tiffany Stratton's not defending her title. She's kind of in the middle of this weird thing with Naomi and Nia and Jade now. So I don't know if that's going to turn into a fatal four-way. They're doing the number one contendership tomorrow night, but maybe it's going to end in a schmoz and they're going to end up doing a fatal four-way.
Yeah.
That seems like the likely thing. Like Naomi's going to cost that match having a winner, and then Nick Aldis is going to come out and be like, "Hey,
what we need is another four-way."
Yeah, they like the multi-man matches all of a sudden.
I mean, not that I wouldn't mind seeing, Jade and Naomi involved in a four-way, if you know what I mean.
Jesus, you sick bastard!
and Tiffany, don't forget.
Don't forget Tiffany. Yeah, and Nia. Don't forget Nia.
You can forget Nia.
I always forget Nia.
You would like.
I would like to forget Nia exists. This is true. Rey Fenix is kind of just having matches on SmackDown. He beat Escobar, I think, last SmackDown. Zelina Vega became U.S. champ randomly against Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't really know why, but sure.
Yeah.
Just to toss it around, I guess. Don't really know where that's going. And then we got Aleister Black hanging out.
Kicking the Miz in the head.
Kicking the Miz, yeah. So I don't know what he's doing. There's just a lot of like... Oh yeah, and then you got Fraxium on SmackDown. 2 weeks in a row winning. Oh yeah, and then you got the Street Profits. They're tag champs, and that's cool. There's just...
For now.
WWE right now is like throwing a bucket of paint at the wall. And just... This is what you get.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem organized, You know what I'm going to say? All you people who were complaining about those long-term stories of the Bloodline and the Judgment Day and Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan and Dominic and all that stuff.
You were right.
You're wishing you had that stuff back now, don't you?
Right.
Because as long-term and as long in the tooth as some of it was getting, that was some of the best television we've had from WWE in decades. That was always the highlight of the night, was what's happening with the Bloodline, what's happening with Paul Heyman, what's happening with Roman, what's happening with Punk, what's happening with Drew, it was just banger after banger.
Yeah.
Sheamus's match with Gunther, they were on fire for 2 or 3 years. And now that Roman has stepped aside and the whole entire Bloodline thing's gone, it's like everything's a mess.
It is kind of a mess.
Come on, WWE, get back to that long-term storytelling. That made it worth watching, man. We had a lot more to talk about in these prediction shows than we do now, because right now it's basically like, hey, these guys are facing each other, and
it's almost like they've oversaturated the PLEs. I mean, they're not doing any more than they were eight,
Mm.
10 years ago, but it's just, I did, I guess maybe like coming 3 weeks after WrestleMania, there's only so much they can do.
What do you think about if evolution goes well, assuming it's real, which I'm assuming it's real. What do you think about having every other show men and women? Do you think they would end up doing that at some point? Have an all men show, then have an all women show, and then you have the big show where they're all in it, like SummerSlams and WrestleManias, Royal Rumbles.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, I'd or something like that. Yeah.
I feel like that would just give more limelight to more people. Um, I think the problem with that is that if you don't have the television show reflecting that, I think that would be a problem. You know what I mean?
I
Then
mean,
it would be like
they do a decent enough job of
cross promotion.
representing the women on the shows.
Oh yeah,
The big problem is we just don't care about a lot of them.
yeah, and it's the creatives. It's creatives' fault. I was watching the Steven Richards show. Stevie Richards. I talked about his show all the time. I watch it. I don't watch the whole show. I kind of watched all of his his cutouts, his highlights, and he talked about those recent releases that we talked about on our last episode, or not our last episode, one of our last episodes. We've done a lot of episodes this week, and he was like, he was basically expressing his frustration over wrestlers getting released because of things that aren't their fault. One of the biggest reasons people get let go is because, creative doesn't have anything for them, right? It's like, well, creative doesn't have anything for Braun, creative doesn't have anything for Shayna. We don't know what to do with them. It's like, well, why should you let the wrestler go then? Why don't you let the writer go?
Yeah,
Who can't figure it out? And I was like, that's actually a really good point, because the wrestler doesn't have that kind of control over their destiny in WWE. It's the writers who have controls over their destiny. Now, some people get over because they're just that good. I'm not saying that they don't have any control, but you and I had talked about those releases earlier, and we were like, well, Braun Strowman still could do stuff. We're not going to sit here and tell you that he's going to be WWE champion again, but he could still do stuff. He could still put other talent over. Shayna Baszler, limitless potential. Why could creative not come up with an idea for Shayna Baszler? It just doesn't make any sense. He did point out the fact that she is, I think, 45.
Yeah, 44.
I think you may have pointed out her age too, but I don't think that hindered her in any way.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Not when you've got, 49-year-old, 48-year-old John Cena,
right?
Main eventing against 40 however year old Randy Orton.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just frustrating. They just need better writers. They need better creative. My question is, who was writing the Bloodline and the Judgment Day and the Punk Drew storylines? Get that guy.
Yeah, I mean, Heyman was
whoever that guy is
heavily involved in the Bloodline.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. So we'll see if the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker story goes anywhere. They still haven't named their stable, which I think is weird.
Do you think they're going to expand the stable soon? Or do you think they're going to sit with the two for a while?
I gotta be honest, I thought there would have been a third guy by now. I'm a little confused that there isn't. If it's just these two, then that tells me one thing. that tells me that this whole story is designed to push Braun, which I don't think he really needed. I think he could have got there on his own. He was already
Yeah.
so over, you know? So I don't think he needed that. So I just...
I think if assuming they're going to have that tag match at Saturday Night's Main Event,
Yeah.
that would be win a third.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have the third guy come in and cost
Yeah.
cost Punk and Sammy.
Who do you think it might be?
Dude. I have no clue. Legit no clue.
If they
Rusev
break up,
doesn't make any sense to me.
if they break up in the next 2 weeks, Austin Theory. So I think Austin Theory could definitely be helped.
Yeah, he could.
By being
he needs a complete repackage, though.
Repackage. And that could be it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get rid of the 8-Town Down. Stuck
down.
You
just hate this song.
Just deuces right now. You suck. You suck.
He represents A-Town.
I was a huge Austin Theory fan at the beginning. And then it just didn't go anywhere. It went nowhere. All right. Anything else we want to say about Backlash? Are you looking forward to it? Yeah, it just kind of exists, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. WWE kind of fell off a cliff after Elimination Chamber and haven't recovered. And I don't mean at Elimination Chamber. I think Elimination Chamber was like the final good piece of entertainment that we got from them.
A couple of the shows from Europe were okay.
Yeah.
The Raws and SmackDowns.
Yeah.
A couple of them were okay because they needed to have big matches.
Yeah,
because they were in Europe for the first time in forever.
But the storytelling was still like weak.
Yeah,
that's their problem right now. Is that their storytelling is weak sauce, and that's kind of like WWE's bread and butter. You know, that's what sets them apart from AEW. And right now, they feel very AEW like in terms of their like splash damage. I like to call it because it's just like.
AEW has improved on some of their stories telling and some of the stories that they're presenting right now.
Have they?
A few of them. There's a few of them.
What's next? I mean, what's on our show?
Double or Nothing, May 25th.
Oh yeah, and NXT Battleground.
Same as Saturday Night's Main Event too.
Oh, they're Saturday Night's Main Events that weekend?
Yes, Saturday Night's Main Event.
No way.
And Battleground. Yep. That'll be a busy week. Yeah.
And Double or Nothing.
And
Holy balls.
Yes.
What are they thinking?
That will be a busy week for us.
So we're gonna have to have like a hold on. We don't consider Saturday Night's Main Event on the prediction show. We've never done that. We can comment on it.
Yeah, we can comment on it.
But we've never done predictions for it. But we're gonna have double duty for predictions for because this is gonna be our first NXT prediction show, and AEW Double or Nothing's that weekend too. Yeah. I guess we got to decide on. I guess it will count as one prediction fight for the belt. So we'll combine the totals of both shows.
Interesting.
To get our winner, or is it going to be we're going to have an AEW? Well, when is NXT Battleground? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
I think it's the same day.
They're both the same day, so it's like you got to pick one to have first, and then you get a winner from that one, and then you go to, you know what I mean? I feel like the only fair thing to do.
Saturday the 25th.
Oh, Saturday. Okay, so then NXT would be first technically, and then AEW. So do we do NXT as a separate thing, and we get a winner out of it, and they potentially only have a 24-hour title reign?
Double or Nothing, May 25th.
Yeah.
It's the same night.
Oh, it's the same night?
Same night.
No. You said
Yes.
you said NXT was Saturday.
Saturday the 25th. Yes.
No, it's the 25th, Sunday.
Oh, Sunday, May 25th. Battleground
Okay.
Tampa, streaming Sunday, May 25th on Peacock.
Okay. And AEW is always on a Sunday. Okay.
Sunday the 25th. Same night.
I think we have to combine them. Whoever gets the most out of both shows takes home the title. I think the chances of a tie would be 0 that way.
Yeah, that would be 0. Pretty much.
It's too many matches. All right, so we'll do that. But first, let's lock in.
Locked in. All 5.
Locked in for Backlash this Saturday.
For those in the Discord, I will put them in the Discord server as well.
Oh, there you go. I don't know if we can do a watch party for that or not. We could try. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, okay. So this has been Wrestling Renaissance WWE Backlash predictions. If you want to check me out on BlueSky, I'm at TJ-Leo.
I'm at Cole2K on BlueSky and on the Twitter, X.
The tweets. If you want to email us, you can do so at co.op.podcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to join the Co-op Club Discord community server. Myself, Cole, Sim31, bunch of us in there talking about games, talking about wrestling, talking about other stuff, all geek culture, good times. Until next time, which will be the Backlash results show, I would assume.
When I retain. Unless there's more releases.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. We'll see who's champion. We
shall see. It looks like the chances of a tie are pretty low.
Yeah. They were a lot more different than I thought they were. We only had one that was exactly the same. Oh, no, two.
Yep.
Two. And the other 3 were either different choices and or different point values.
Yep.
So. All right. Until next time. We out.
Good night.